So before watching this movie, I made a cold open that was basically saying, hey, let's watch this movie that I hated. Maybe I was just in a bad mood when I watched it and it's actually charming. Yeah, fuck no. After watching this goddamn movie, I feel validated. I hated this movie the first time I watched it, and I hate it even more the second time. It's shit, it's dumb, and it's trash. Fuck the cold open. I just want to get this over with. Roll the goddamn intro. The movie begins with this lady ailing Minda as she says Pwera Usog while blessing this little girl and gives the mom a charm. The mom asks if she has plans to have a child, but Minda says she doesn't even have a husband, so a kid is doubtful. They go their separate ways when Minda encounters this kid who is in a panic, asking her to help his friend. She asks him to lead her there, where they go to an abandoned house inside the woods. They go inside where they see a girl staring blankly at the wall. Minda gets her attention and she turns around saying she will take care of us. Minda asks who she's talking about and the girl points up and then points behind Minda, but when she sees nothing, she turns back around where the little girl starts looking more ghost-like. Minda then starts vomiting and she runs away with the boy back to her mother Magda. Minda tells her that she got usogged or cursed by the girl and starts puking up blood. Magda takes her in and starts hitting her with some leaves while chanting Pwera Usog. Minda eventually stops vomiting, basically having her curse lifted, as Magda says it seems it wasn't a kid who cursed her. You fucking think? The boy sees his friend outside, but we don't get the continuation of that, because if you thought we would get those people as our main characters, you are dead fucking wrong. Instead, for some reason, we move somewhere else entirely, where this lady is walking down the street late at night when a woman with a knife in her back starts asking for help. Behind her, a masked man appears, and when she runs away, these people drop their act and reveal themselves as YouTube pranksters. With their prank done, Bobby says that they should leave now that they got 3 victims, with Val asking what they would do now. Jean proposes that they go to her house for some drinks, saying that her dad won't be coming home till next week. The next day, Jean wakes up to her dad coming home today. She quickly cleans the house and greets her dad, but her dad confronts her about her video and scolds her, saying that it's dangerous. They get into an argument about money and family drama, comparing her to her well-off brother who we won't even fucking meet, so that's a Chekhov's gun that never got fired. By the end, she cries, arguing that the people love her for her videos, but her dad reads her hate comments proving her wrong, which makes her cry even more and begs her dad to stop. We cut to her in her bedroom where she starts staring at her family picture, but then she just throws it in the ground. Well, at least we got to know what the brother looks like. We then cut to this guy, Sherwin, going to a club where he sees Jean dancing on stage. Outside, it turns out Jean called her ex, aka Sherwin, asking for a ride home. She also hugs him, asking if she's a bad person. Yes, you are. Okay, Sherwin says no because he's a damn pushover, which prompts her to ask why her comments are like that. Because you're a bad person and you should feel bad. Anyway, we cut again to, goddamn, this movie really likes quick cuts to places. We cut again to the ex-couple arriving at Jean's house, with Sherwin revealing that Jean is drunk. Her dad thanks him for bringing her home and says that out of all her boyfriends, he was the only good one that could have fixed her. All this being heard by Jean. We cut to, Jesus fucking Christ. We cut to the trio again playing a prank by being an absolute nuisance, riding on a grocery cart and trashing the store. How they didn't get kicked out immediately is beyond me. They then find a remote control spider which they will use for their prank. There's a guard right fucking there. Why aren't you doing anything, bro? They find their target and scare him, but they act like it was an accident. But when the guy starts screaming and breaking the toy, Jean offers him 2,000 pesos, which shuts him up. They then rest and start eating, and here they start planning a spontaneous road trip, all because Jean doesn't want to go home. She then starts calling Sherwin, to which her friends make fun of her for. Then we cut to fuck! We cut to them in Sherwin's car as they arrive in an abandoned building. The three are sleeping when Jean wakes up and asks Sherwin where they are, which confused me a bit because the movie showed them still singing while they were arriving. So this is either just a terrible presentation or they got knocked out as soon as they entered the building. Sherwin says he just stumbled upon it, and so the ex-couple take this time to explore the building and reinforce this dumbass relationship. When a crazy homeless woman comes up to them asking for money, Sherwin gives her some, but Jean pushes her, telling her to go away. The woman does so while having a crazy look in her eye. They go back to the car and inform the other two of the crazy woman, and Jean has the bright idea of doing a charity video of giving her money to get the haters off her back. But Val has an even dimmer idea of pranking the woman first and then giving her the money. Sherwin tries opposing them but leaves them behind, not wanting to join in. I mean, you could have opposed a bit more, you fucking simp. So the three stooges conduct their plan and find the woman sleeping on the ground, and naturally, Jean starts fucking kicking her to wake her up. Jean then chases her where Bobby corners her and starts fucking hog tying her. Yeah, no, that's just assault at this point, dog. In the meantime, Sherwin hears the woman screaming, but instead of helping, because you know, he's meant to be the rational one of the group, he just increases the volume and continues vibing. They chase her all the way to the rooftop where they finally reveal that it's a prank, but being mentally ill, she doesn't calm down, with Jean getting frustrated. Jean tries offering the money, a whopping 5,000 pesos for the mental anguish she just went through, but the woman just rips the money and starts strangling Jean. Bobby manages to push the woman away and she keeps walking back, eventually falling from the building. They run downstairs to investigate, but they don't find her body. They start blaming each other for the accident, but when Sherman arrives to get all the details, they all book it and leave the building. They eventually stop at a nearby gas station. As Bobby and Sherman go somewhere else, Jean and Val are left alone in the car where Jean watches the footage back. While she's watching, the car suddenly starts rocking side to side when the crazy woman appears and starts banging on the windows. She then disappears with Sherman appearing in her place. They tell the guys what happened and they all go home. At Jean's place, she still goes through with the video and edits out the part where the woman falls and cuts it at the part where she just gives the money. Sherman tries going against her, but like the simp he is, he just lets her do what she wants and even helps her film an intro for her video. Can you just have the fucking balls to back up one thing you're against? She posts the video on IFTV where she finally gets some comments praising her. Also, I just hate the fact that this movie basically predicted the premiere feature of YouTube a year in advance. At night, Jean is sleeping when she suddenly gets a call from her dad, but when she ignores the call, a CGI doll appears and attacks her face. She wakes up from this nightmare seeing that her windows are open. She closes it and tries going back to sleep, but when she notices her door is also open, she goes to close it, but then it opens again, and when she tries investigating, we get a weird ass fucking cut as a woman appears behind her, grabbing her. She wakes up for real this time, finding marks on her arms and starts vomiting. The next day, she goes to Sherwin's doctor dad with Sherwin, where he diagnoses her with sleep paralysis. Sherwin asks her if she's still thinking about the woman, and she has the audacity to ask if they went too far. You didn't think about that when you were tying her up? She also says that they need to find the woman to check on her and ask for forgiveness so that she can finally have some peace of mind. The ex-couple go back to the abandoned building, but they don't find her. They go outside to ask some of the locals, but when they're about to ask this dude, Jean starts vomiting again. The man has no problem whatsoever touching Jean's lunch, saying that she has a condition. Yet no fucking shit. Also, you only looked at it and didn't check the texture, so did you really need to touch it, you fucking freak? The guy says his mother is a doctor, so Sherwin takes Jean where the guy leads them to Aling Minda. Wow. I really didn't think we would connect back to the intro at this point. We also see a picture of Magda, so safe to assume she's dead. Minda says that Jean got cursed, and when she tries doing the licky thumb strat, it doesn't work, as Jean pukes blood on her face. Minda then cracks an egg into a mason jar and puts it in front of Jean, where an image of a ghostly woman appears. Now knowing the threat, Minda grabs a big ass jug of liquid and pours it on Jean. Sherman asks what the liquid is, and Quentin says that it's a big jug of Minda's saliva. But not just any saliva, it's saliva with powers. Minda says Pwera Usog again, but this time it does the trick as Jean finally calms down. Later, Sherwin is waiting outside when Quentin tells him that Jean is resting. Sherwin asks what an Usog is, and Quentin explains that when a person, commonly a child, meets a stranger, or a stranger looks at them the wrong way, sometimes they would catch the curse or Usog. Other times it could also be because a ghost, a spirit, or a demon looked at you. Surprisingly, that's all the movie gave, so here's some more context. The Usog doesn't have to be a complete stranger. It can even be a kid meeting a relative for the first time. Since that person is a stranger to the kid, they can be Usogged unintentionally. So to counteract that, the person who met them would lick their thumbs and bless their forehead or stomach. In some of my encounters, my relatives did my ears and said Pwera Usog. The closest translation in this context would be begone curse, or something along those lines. That's also why saliva has been a constant theme in this movie. As for why it is saliva, I couldn't fucking tell you. Anyway, after that explanation, Sherwin laughs it off, not believing in folklore because he says his dad is a real doctor. Quentin asks if he believes, but he just shrugs it off. We move to Bobby and Val swimming in the pool, where they talk about dreaming of shadowy figures the same as Jean. They flirt a bit when Bobby sees a figure watching them from a distance, so he goes to check it out. Finding nothing, he goes back to Val when his stomach starts feeling bad. All of a sudden, he starts puking blood, then we cut to him in the hospital in a stretcher, then cut again back to Sherwin. Jesus Christ, this movie is giving me a fucking whiplash. Sherwin asks again if the liquid is actually saliva, and Minda interrupts, saying it's actually a combination of Magda and Minda's saliva mixed with Salamanca, save for stronger curses like Jean's. Speaking of Jean, she wakes up and asks if the homeless woman has anything to do with her situation, but when Quentin asks who that is, Sherwin interrupts her, saying that they have to go. Before they could leave, Minda stops them and gives them some charms to help protect them from being cursed again. Sherwin tries giving them money, but she declines and they go their separate ways. Back to Val, she wakes up in a hospital room but only sees a blood trail leading to the bathroom where she finds Bobby, whose head is in the toilet. She lifts him up only to discover that he is dead. How the hell is he still mugging me even in death? Later, Jean and Sherwin meet up with Val at the hospital, who explains to them what happened as well as their dream about a witch. Jean says she also had the same dream, and Val now believes that the witch is the homeless woman. She starts panicking, saying that she is going after them, thinking that she might be next, and then she faints. Jean and Sherwin are talking while Val is resting. Sherwin tells her that he told her father that she is getting sleep paralysis, with Jean arguing that it isn't. He makes it clear to her that he doesn't believe in the curse, but asks that if the curse is true, why wasn't Val affected? Because she didn't get sick like Bobby or Jean. Like, for him, Val's mom comes in, the same mom from the intro, and plot twist, the little girl from earlier is actually Val. She also reveals the same charm that she got from Minda still being worn by Val. Sherwin and Jean are talking outside, and it seems that Sherwin is starting to believe in the curse because while he hasn't dreamt of the witch, he's still wondering if she might come after him. Jean asks if he still has the charm, but he confesses that he threw it away, saying that it's because he wasn't a believer. Bro, that thing was still a fine piece of handcrafted jewelry. Are you really that narcissistic to throw it away just because you didn't believe in it? Anyway, he says that while he still doesn't fully believe, he acknowledges the possibility that the curse might be real. We then all of a sudden get a flashback of the two homeless kids from the intro. We see the kids sleeping when the little girl, Luna, sees a woman looking at them, but when the boy looks at it, he sees nothing. We see them come to the abandoned house where Luna starts offering some bananas to someone, but the boy can't see it. She turns to the boy, saying his name Quentin, when the witch pops up. Was that an actual jump scare? Anyway, Quentin, the adult version, wakes up from his nightmare and starts appearing distracted. Minda asks him what's the problem, and he confesses that he dreamt of his friend Luna and the witch that Minda calls Catalina. Minda also tells him that she saw the image of Catalina in the egg jar and believes that she's the one who cursed Jean. Because of that, Quentin believes that the homeless woman that Jean mentioned is Luna. Minda thinks that maybe Jean did something to Luna that caused Catalina to get angry and curse her. Quentin wants to find Luna to help her, but Minda reminds him of what happened to Magda. We get another flashback where Minda, Magda, and young Quentin are searching for Luna. They find her walking down the street with her doll when she swiftly disappears and attacks Magda while she's distracted. Magda lets the other two run away while the Catalina-possessed Luna kills Magda by draining her blood and starts eating her out. Eating her insides out. Quentin is grateful to Minda for saving him, but he says that he also has a duty to save Luna in turn, so he wants to ask Jean about Luna. Lucky for him, Jean and Sherwin are at his door. You gotta love doors introducing just the right people to answer your questions. Sherwin gets another charm while Jean tells them of the prank. Minda tells them that the reason Luna survived is because of Catalina, and we get another flashback, this time explaining the backstory of Catalina. This better be the last fucking one movie. Anyway, story goes, she lives alone and her favorite pastime is kidnapping people, her favorite being kids. She sucks out their energy until the kid dies, and when the villagers learned of this, they killed her. But even when she died, that didn't stop her from munching on children's energy. And the reason why Catalina is hunting Jean and her friends is because they hurt Luna, the person that Catalina has been cultivating and has basically been her main energy source. With that exposition dump out of the way, the trio go back to the abandoned building. When they arrive, Quentin tells them to go, but Jean wants to stay and help. Sherwin interjects, saying what business do they have with the ghostly witch, and Jean replies, nothing. What the fuck do you mean nothing? Minda literally explained to you that this is all your guys' fault and you're the reason why Catalina is still hunting you down, with the charms being your only defense against her. And out of all the interjections you had before, this is the most dumbfounding because you literally went back to Minda to get the answer to your own fucking question, you dumbass. So what business? You're fucking wearing it! Jean manages to convince Sherwin because he always folds under zero pressure, and they look around the building to find Luna again. Sherwin finds her doll on the ground, but its face suddenly morphs, scaring him. Quentin gets to work setting up a ritual around the doll, using this to get inside Catalina's realm. He doesn't get the chance to do shit though because he immediately gets choked by Catalina. We see Luna bound inside the realm asking Quentin for help, so Catalina lets go of Quentin and starts choking her instead. Why? You already have her bound and she's your main energy source. Why the fuck are you choking her? God damn, even the ghost is fucking dumb as hell. Jean and Sherwin shake Quentin's body, which managed to wake him up, while back at Minda's house, he gets woken up by the spirit of Magda, calling out to her, telling her that Quentin is in danger. The three get out of the building trying to find Luna, but Luna corners Sherwin, and the coward that he is, he cowers behind Quentin, causing Luna to chase after Jean. Luna manages to trap Jean, taking off her charm when Sherwin arrives trying to hold Luna back, but not before Luna curses Jean again. Quentin chases after Luna, but she escapes by doing a fucking leap of faith off the building. He goes back to the couple and he tries doing a normal Pwera Usog on Jean, but it doesn't work, saying it seems that Catalina's curse is strong. Yes, dumbass! We already established that the first time she got cursed. That's why Minda needed the fucking bucket of grandma spit to cure her. Why is everyone in this movie so fucking dumb? Sherwin tries giving his charm, but it also doesn't work because Quentin explains that it's more of a deterrent than a cure. Then Sherwin suggests a fucking kiss. What kind of movie do you think this is? Quentin says that shit won't work because you're exes, so instead he tries calling to Minda through spirit Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, Magda is now informing Minda that if witches can curse people from afar, then faith healers can heal from afar too. Minda says she doesn't know how, to which Magda replies, just fucking believe, bro, and so she does. Back to the trio, Minda arrives there spiritually, looking like fucking Gandalf the White, licks her hand and does a superpowered Pwera Usog which manages to cure Jean. I'm done. I don't care anymore. Fine. They go back to Minda's house and there they convene at a circular table. Minda is the one who does a ritual this time which results in Catalina possessing her. Catalina tells the others to leave her alone and just laughs at them for an unnecessarily long time. The ritual ends and Minda says that she's found Luna's location. And then we get a goddamn suit-up montage. A goddamn suit-up montage in my goddamn horror movie. They even had the audacity to put in the goddamn slow-motion exit. This movie is so goddamn dumb. They go to the mansion where Minda found Luna and Quentin the first time, which makes the earlier ritual dumb as hell because I could have fucking guessed that. And here they find Luna kneeling doing nothing. Quentin and Minda set up the same ritual again, but this time Minda is the one who enters the realm. Minda asks Luna where Catalina is and she does the finger-pointing bullshit again. Minda didn't learn from her last encounter as Catalina gets the jump on her and starts choking her. She really loves that move, huh? They continue fighting, but eventually Catalina overpowers Minda and destroys her soul, killing Minda in real life. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic. You would think she'd put up more of a fight after getting a power-up and a fucking suit-up montage. I'm still not over that one. Catalina is now in the real world standing up, laughing at them, and when Quentin tries fighting back, he just gets knocked on his ass. Catalina chases the other two, but they manage to get out of the house, where they discover that Sherwin lost his charm again and he gets cursed, puking blood all over the place. Quentin wakes up and goes outside where he uses the egg trick to see the invisible Catalina. He charges her with a stick because he is dumb as fuck. You haven't even weakened her or anything. Catalina though brings out Luna who begs him to stop and to just leave her and Catalina alone. Quentin drops his guard and Catalina starts choking him again, knocking him out. Dude, you're fucking hopeless. Jean takes this time to form the Soul Circle and being the only one left, it's her turn to confront Catalina in her realm. Inside, Catalina immediately knocks her on her ass. Jean negotiates with Catalina asking her to free Luna and to take her instead. Somehow, this fucking works because Catalina frees Luna almost immediately. I told you even the villain is fucking dumb as hell. As Catalina is putting the binding on Jean, she runs away and Catalina fucking chases her by foot. Tangina pre, ba't mo hinahabol? Didn't you have extra powers earlier? Catalina catches up to Jean and throws her with the strength of 10 Sherwins and just pulls her with telekinesis. Oh, now you use your extra powers, you dumb bitch. She chokes her much like Minda and starts beating Jean into submission as she starts taking Jean's energy. Outside, Luna tells Quentin what Jean did and he manages to pull Jean away from Catalina. Well, that was fucking easy. They go to Sherwin, who is still cursed, where Quentin tries curing him but it doesn't work. Jean tries curing him and with the power of love, it fucking works. All is not over yet though when Catalina shows herself inside the Salt Circle when Luna stabs her with Quentin's stick. She tanks it though, but Quentin jumps in, sprinkling some liquid on her which weakens her enough that Quentin can recite some spell at her. Catalina also tanks this spell until Quentin asks for help from his dead family and we see Ghost Minda and Magda by his side. They put their hands on him which gives him the boost required to destroy Catalina once and for all as Catalina burns away to ashes. Sometime later, Quentin is now the local fate healer with Luna by his side. Outside, Quentin gives them some charms, not for protection but for strengthening their spirit, and they go their separate ways. Back at her home, Jean makes another video, but this time announcing that this will be her last video as she will be quitting YouTube.
See you around, guys!
Bitch, that's my outro. She tells her dad that she enrolled to college, one that she paid on her own, and apologizes to him. Later, we see the ex couple on a date in a restaurant when a child approaches them begging for food. Jean gives the kid her food, but when Sherwin leaves for the bathroom, the kid starts asking her for her name. Jean thinks she's talking to her, but when she turns around, she sees that the kid is talking to a shadowy figure. Jean turns to the kid again, who is now holding Luna's doll. The movie ends with a jump scare from the shadow, with that being the end of Pwera Usog, starring Perky Nurse and Stout Gay Man. I'm just I'm just fucking tired, man. I almost don't even have the energy to do my rant, so this will just be quick. The movie was a slog to watch. All the characters are dumb and annoying, and not a single one of them is likable. The protagonist is misplaced, where instead of Quentin, or even fucking Val, the one in the group who had an established relationship with Minda already, we somehow got Jean as our protagonist. Also, is it just me, or did Val feel like she got cut from the story because she does not appear again after the hospital scene? As for the movie as a whole, it is as plain and vanilla as it can be. If you wanted a good horror movie, just stay away. If not for you guys, I would be watching Ready or Not 2 right now, so you better appreciate it. Nah, I'm kidding. But what do you guys think? Was it bad? Was it absolute dog shit? Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section below, and if you have another movie suggestion, also tell me down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. I've been Nate, and I will see you around.